Hi and welcome to the episode 7 of ChitChats with Sanya. So today I'm here with a guest and we'll be having some of the chit-chats on justice versus reality. If you want to be lawyer, how fair is the system? For this we have someone who literally breathed every law every single day. Advocate Amit Mendiratta, who is my father, who is a practicing lawyer at Supreme Court and High Court, founder of Vidhi Nivaran, a leading law firm based in Rudrapur, Uttarakhand, the very first law firm in Kumaon region. Sir has currently completed 25 years of practice in law and advocacy. Sir handled all type of civil matters at District Court, High Court Nainital and has impellment with various banks, exclusively handling matters related to bank recovery, land revenue, consumer corporate, property law and etc. Sir is a national debater and also a good orator. Facilitated by Honorable Governor of Uttarakhand for special talent recognition as an advocate and contribution to legal services. There are multiple things that have even been left that we will share inside the podcast. So we welcome you, sir.
Thank you, Sanya, for calling me. It's been a pleasure to come here and join your podcast channel. Thank you.
Okay, then, without wasting much time, let's get going. सर जैसे कि आपको एक एक्टर बनना था तो वो एक सडन चेंज आखिर कैसा हुआ कि आपने एक शिफ्ट लिया फ्रॉम एन एक्टर टू द लॉयर और किसने आपको इसके लिए पुश किया कि आपको लॉ और एडवोकेसी में जाना है एंड हु इज योर स्पेशल मेंटर जिसने आपको सपोर्ट किया इनटू दिस फील्ड ऑफ लॉ एंड एडवोकेसी
Sanya, to be very honest, when I was in school in class 11th and 12th, I wanted to be an actor. I had a dream of becoming an actor actually. But in case of middle class of families, you get an impression from the family that it's a very struggling profession. If you don't have any godfather in Bollywood, how you able to survive? How you able to get the work there?
True.
So this kind of struggling, the experiences that the struggling things with the impression which you get in the medium class families. So then I had to drop this idea. My parents wanted I should complete my education first. So my father, since he was a senior lawyer, so my second career option I had in mind that I want to venture into the field of law. Though I was a science student, I was at Nainital doing BSc, but all of a sudden the thought came in my mind, let's move to Delhi and start preparing for the law entrance examinations. And my destiny basically pushed me. And as far as if you have asked me as a mentor, so I have two mentors. My first mentor is obviously my late father, late Shri Prem Prakash Mendiratta, who was a senior most advocate who practiced law for 50 years, who was also an ex-serviceman of Air Force, and he attended two wars for the nation in 62 and 65, and then he was in active practice for 50 years. And unfortunately my father departed during COVID phase 1, so he's my mentor number 1. And my mentor number 2 is my designated senior advocate Justice Rajesh Tandon, who was a designated senior advocate and who also got elevated as a high court judge in Uttarakhand in Nainital. So these are two mentors for me, and I have learned a lot from them, and it's been a journey of 25 years now.
Okay, so your parents have supported you if you would be pursuing actor later in the future. So your parents have always supported you for acting, or they have pushed you that you should always go for advocacy and law.
Silly, I told you earlier also in middle class families, each and every parent wants that my kids they should have a certain future.
Hmm.
They should not struggle.
Hmm.
They should have that job, a certain job. So they wanted first to complete your initial education. Once I completed 12th, then said you go for the graduation. Once you complete your graduation, they asked you to go for post graduation. Then you said you should have a stability in life. You start earning, and by the time you complete your education and in a self and as being a self-employed professional, initially you have a struggle for so many years. By the time you start getting money and you getting your name and fame in the society, so by that time I think golden periods of life goes. But still, if you ask me at the age of 49, I still dream of becoming an actor.
Okay. So, sir, if we just come out to your educational qualifications, so you have actually done BA LLB honors from Rohtak, Haryana. So, do you think that education plays an important role for law, or shall we consider education as a part of a degree only?
No, education plays a very important role in the field of law also,
Hmm.
because gone are the days now. Now it's a competitive era in law. So I always, whenever I go to any law college, I always advise the students, the budding lawyers, that we have to be very focused on our curriculum or on subjects from the day one, and we should start making the the digest, whatever the text your teachers teaches you in classes. you prepare your digest, you just look out for the judgments, what the Supreme Court has passed, the judgments right from 1950 till date. So you have to do a lot of research in the research, and that research with coupled with your presentation, it's all education. I think it plays a vital role in
So
becoming a good lawyer.
it's like more than degree, we can say.
So degree, I tell you, degree is just a formality.
Okay.
It is basically, law is a profession where, after passing the law, it's a practical word which is very important, what you learn in practice. When you start with one brief in a court of law and you appear before a magistrate or judge, then there you get to know how do you to face the judge, how have you have to respond to the query. First of all, whenever any client comes to you with some problem, be it a civil matter or a criminal matter, what problem he or she has, how you have to articulate the facts of the problem, and then you have to draft a case out of it, and how you have to present that case, and how you have to lead the evidence, and how do you have to cite certain judgments before the court so that your client gets the justice in time. So that is very important.
Okay, sir, so that we get it. Now let's come to the fun round. जहाँ पर I will actually put a statement and you have to
Okay.
respond to me.
Okay.
Recording a phone call without telling the other person is legal or illegal?
It's illegal. You have to tell the other person that I'm recording your call. And even if you see the relevant provisions of the Evidence Act, which are now called as Bharati Saksh Adhiniyam, any tape recorded conversation, if it is put as an evidence before any court of law, that has to be corroborated by an expert evidence.
Okay. Copying the assignment from the internet is legal or illegal?
Copying any assignment from the internet is legal, but when it comes to prove the liability of it, liability of who will be the responsible and who will be the liability, then it's a big legal question.
Okay, fine. कोर्ट हेयरिंग शुरू होने से पहले भूख लगने पर खाना खाना इज लीगल और इलीगल?
It's legal. What is the problem?
We can have it.
Yeah, we can have the food. We can have the food. Even we have the lunch hours also.
So ethics में नहीं आता ये, मतलब we can have it. It's none the part of any ethics that.
No. If you are outside the courtroom, you can have drink. You can have any juice. You can have water. You can have juice. You can have any food. That's not a problem.
Okay. Sharing your friend's password to the next person?
That's illegal.
That's illegal. Okay. Law is scary or wife की डांट is scary?
Wife की डांट obviously scary.
How come? Q, how come?
See, in every society, be it some middle class society or a high class society, wherever you say, na, the wife is called as a home minister.
Oh,
and home minister is a very important ministry in the government of India.
That's very true.
So everything is regulated by the home minister of the country. Same is the case with your house. The housewife, she has a vital role.
Okay. Now let's come to the one word round. I'll putting the statement and you have to respond in one word. Any one myth about the judicial system that people are believing blindly in?
Obviously, if in context of India, people blindly have the faith in the judicial system of the country, that it is the last resort. After battling anywhere else in the world, it's the last resort we repose faith that we'll get the justice.
Okay. One word that defines justice to you. What is justice?
Equitable balance.
Equitable balance. Okay, so one case that changed your point of view on the system.
See, recently I was interested with the matter. This matter is pertaining to a property in Madurai in the state of Tamil Nadu, I tell you. And there, this case, the litigation started somewhere in the year 2011. I've been recently engaged by one of my very close friends, Bala Janaki Srinivasan, who is one of the successor of this property, who got this property on the basis of the registered will of her maternal aunt, Buaji. And this property is bang opposite to the Madurai bench of the Tamil Nadu High Court. And there, the property has been acquired without giving any notice to the beneficiaries of the property, to the property owners. There being a temple, on a portion of a piece of land measuring around somewhere 9.5 acres, was a temple which was a private temple where my client, my friends, forefathers, and the members of the family used to worship and do the prayers there in the temple. So, what the government of Tamil Nadu has done, they have treated this personal property as a public property. And the property has been acquisition, for which we have been battling into the various courts, right from the lower courts. Our suit has been dismissed, and there are certain PIs, public interest litigations, which are pending in the High Court of Madurai, and also two SLPs which are pending before the Supreme Court. That where do I go in this country if I can expect the justice only from the Supreme Court, which is a guardian of the Constitution of India?
Okay.
So my right to the property also under Article 300A of the Constitution. So this is a very important case in which I am just seeing at what judiciary is doing, because we are fighting against the state administration also, and on the same time, the property there in the entire periphery wall of that land, the boundary wall has been constructed, and the high court has taken that premises as a parking. And the parking, all this was inaugurated also by the senior most judge of the country. So in this particular matter, what I'm seeing is that if I'm not able to get justice in my country from the Supreme Court, so where do I go? Where do a common citizen go for its property rights?
Okay, so one reform you dream to see in the Indian legal system?
One biggest reform which I dream, Sana, is should be the change in the collegium system in context of appointment of the judges at Supreme Court and High Court.
ओके सर। सो सर, जैसे हम हमेशा सुनते हैं कि जस्टिस ऑलवेज विन, बट आजकल जैसे कि लॉन्ग केसेस पेंडिंग हैं, काफी ड्रैग हो रहे हैं, एंड हाउ मनी एंड पावर इज बिकमिंग मोर पोटेंट एंड पावरफुल, सो इज जस्टिस रियली फेयर नाउअडेज?
Absolutely, judiciary being the third and the strongest pillar of the democracy, a common man has utmost faith in the judiciary. I do admit that India is such a big country, and the hierarchical system of the judiciary is such a way, the case starts from the lower court of the judicial magistrate courts, and it is prolonged to the civil judge, senior division, and it goes to the high court and Supreme Court. The hierarchy is very long, but still, a common man has reposes faith in judiciary.
एब्सोल्युटली।
It's always justice which wins.
ओके, हाउ डू यू थिंक कि जो यंग पीपल हैं आजकल के, स्पेशली यूथ एंड स्टूडेंट्स, हाउ दे कैन बिल्ड अ बेटर अंडरस्टैंडिंग स्पेशली इन द लीगल राइट्स?
See, as I told you earlier, also, I same thing I tell in when I go to the law colleges. Also, the young students, aspirants who are studying law, they should first of all have a strong belief in the faith of judicial system of the country. Number one, and secondly, they should have utmost respect for the profession, because it is such a comprehensive and very struggling and challenging profession, where you have to take your subjects right from the day one very seriously. See, in our days, and even if you see 10 years back also, what students used to do is they never used to study. They just used to see ki when the exams will come, we will study. Now gone are the days. You have to be very sincere and focused from the day one, because as you clear your basics in your law colleges and you do a lot of research.
ओके सर, तो वो कौन-सा आइडिया था जिसने आपको इंस्पायर किया टू ओपन द वेरी फर्स्ट लॉ फर्म कॉल्ड विधि निवारण, व्हिच इज सेड टू बी द वेरी फर्स्ट लॉ फर्म इन द कुमाऊं रीजन?
When I completed my law education in 99 2000, at that time I had in mind when I'll go back to my hometown, as my hometown being a small place. So I had something in my mind that I'll open a law firm, and I'll get the advocates of my own choice, and we'll have an association, so that under one roof, whenever any litigant comes and he has multiple problems, like if he has some matrimonial dispute, or if he has some matter pertaining to dishonor of check, or some property litigation matter, or some any constitutional matter, so under one roof we can give the services. So I had this dream when I came in the profession, but somehow no, somehow the God wanted me to wait for 21 years, and after having an experience of 21 years, then I promoted my law firm as Vidhi Nivaran. Unfortunately, after the sad demise of my father on his first death anniversary.
Okay, sir. So, what advice you will give to the freshers who want to opt law as their career, and what you think are the important qualities that they must have in them, and what are the qualities they are left with?
See, I'll advise to the freshers, to especially to the law students, and whenever I go to the different law colleges for the lecture or for the seminars, I always advise the students that gone are the days. Now it's a very competitive era. Now law is a very challenging profession. From the day one, you have to very much focused on your subjects.
Hmm.
You have to study each and every subject sincerely, and you have to ask multiple questions from your professors. You have to take all the law subjects very seriously, prepare your own digest, start reading the text, and prepare the digest, and do the research about the case laws on each and every subject from 1950 to till date, what Supreme Court judgments have been passed. And further, once they come into the profession after passing this LLB, they come into the profession after clearing the All India Bar examination. They should practice for the trial courts at least for 3 years. And now, even in the Supreme Court, in the recent judgment, has made it mandatory that you have to practice for 3 years at least before appearing for the judicial service. The three important qualities I would like to advise that each and every budding lawyer, or even the lawyers in the profession, should have. First is the tolerance. Tolerance is very important. You have to cope up with the mind, and you have to cope up with the problems of the litigants. You have to very much have patience. And secondly and thirdly, the money doesn't start rolling in this profession from the day one. So you need to have patience, because initially there's a struggling phase of 2 to 3 years, and once you overcome that phase, then you know it's the heights. You can touch the heights. The more you do the hard work, whether you are in a trial court or in the high court and supreme court, the more you do hard work, you establish yourself in society, and then sky's the limit.
Okay, sir, thank you so much for being with us, sharing your valuable insights, and all the very best for the future
Thank you
endeavors.
much. Thank you so much, Sana, for calling me. It was a real pleasure.